Ciao, hi, hey, guys, konnichiwa, namaste, and all that jazz. Hope you're well wherever you are. It's your boy. It's really difficult, so when you look in the mirror, my dyspraxia is probably, which is a coordination condition, a bit like dyslexia, but for coordination. Anyway, I'll talk about it another time, maybe in dyspraxia December, maybe. But anyway, yeah, trying to point to the MKS line. Yeah, one of my sisters got this. Play to her. But yeah, I'm just going to check I'm live on Facebook as well. I decided to focus on the YouTube screen for this one. If I can wake my brain up. Anywho, as I say, it's your boy MKS here, back in another video. Hope these record as well as possible, and preferably get as few distractions as possible. I realise I didn't get around to doing this. I mean, I put my plans ahead for, in brackets and in speech marks, I guess, and I suppose it's quite fitting now, given that it's the last day of March. But I guess I thought I'd talk about what I hoped to have achieved, what I would have hoped to have achieved, or whatever, in hindsight, and also that's a big word for me, hindsight. They say hindsight is a wonderful thing, or whatever, but the benefit of hindsight, or whatever. But anyway, and also for part 4, I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but what I hope to achieve in the future. But anyway, here goes. So these are pointers number 21 to 30. I'm in a bit of a rush, so I'm going to probably try and crack on with it. As I say, this was supposed to be done at the start of the month, maybe on the eve of the month, i.e. just before the month, just like Christmas Eve, just before Christmas, or on the first day of the month itself, but it wasn't to be. I got distracted by other things and that kind of thing. So anyway, here goes. So number 21 on that theme. It seems to be a theme this month that, or generally, that I had unfinished business. It seems to be that the theme for this year, if not generally, but especially this year, I think. I guess the main thing is trying to prioritise what's most important to me, but I'd love to talk about what I hoped to have achieved, especially for the Time for War, from a selfish point of view, and also Celtic, and also for Asian empowerment, especially, and some of the football results that wanted to happen. They actually, to be fair, recently. I mean, it started off terribly because that was in March, though. I thought of March as a very victory, but it wasn't to be. I was very depressed in March. And the other thing is, Italy failed to qualify for the World Cup. That was worst of all. And Italian club teams are doing really badly, so it's not been too good. But then PSG beating Arsenal nil, as I call them, Arsenal nil or nil. Anyway, that was really good. That was a good ending. And also Celtic winning a double. I wish we had a treble, but so it's been a mixed bag football-wise. I suppose May was a lot better than, I guess, March or probably April. And cold tea. But yeah, they say you can't win them all. Some you lose some and you win some and you can't win them all. But I didn't manage to finish enough, and I was going to say I dropped the ball on that one. But Italian teams dropped the ball certainly, and Celtic a little bit when Celtic lost the next up the Premier Sports Cup or whatever. Sorry for that, not in difficulty. But yeah, I wish I could have done a lot better. But I'm going to move on. Again, I should have done this at the beginning of the month, ASAP, and that's the last day of the month. So, but moving on, point number 22 on that note. I guess each May, I hope to do the best I can to benefit Italian football, Celtic, FC, and especially Asian empowerment as well. I hope to do that in the future. Point number 23, I'd love to fundraise as much as possible for those things and support them and benefit them generally, whether that's benefiting Italian football and helping them to get all the possible legal funding as long as it's done within the rules, and for Italian football maybe to work with FIFA and UEFA and whatnot, and talk about the rules of the game to make sure they don't fall foul of FFP, financial fair play rules, and all that kind of thing. Maybe to ask FIFA and UEFA, what are the rules? How much are we allowed to spend? How much are what are all the legal ways we can get investment and sponsorship? How can we make sure it lasts for the next 5-10 years? Because I think one of the things, I think FFP or rules like that are supposed to be, I don't know if it's supposed to be to stop certain teams from dominating, but if that's the case, it probably failed in its initiative. In fact, if anything, it's probably widened the gap. And it's, I don't know if it's to stop investors pulling out, like what happens to Portsmouth and Leeds, two other teams I don't like. So I'm happy it happened to them in a way. Kind of, although it was a bit harsh. I'm glad they didn't completely go under, but I don't really like them. So I think that's pretty cool. But I should be careful when I say offending the wrong people. But yeah, that's why I don't like to tell people where I live, just in case about that. Anyway, that's one of the reasons. But yeah, I don't know if that's one of the reasons why. But I guess if it makes more teams go bust, and Shrewsbury, it widens the gap between the haves and the haves. Not in football. I know it's only football, not that. That's my problem. But for me, it's a really important thing. Music and football. I think without those sorts of things, walking, being able to see, and other things I appreciate. Most things in life are a chore and a bore, and tasks and errands and annoying things. If I'm honest, sorry, as a pessimist, a negative person. So some of the things you can enjoy, I think you should grasp them with both hands. It's like people say, as a football fan, and people say it's similar in business, 9 out of 10 days are quite bad, generally speaking, for most football fans, soccer fans, or whatever, sports fans, even generally perhaps, unless you support one of the top teams. But even then, you get better. But for the average sports supporter, whether that's in soccer or whatever you want to call it, footy or whatever, or in any other sports, most of the days are bad. So you have to appreciate the 1 out of 10 that's good or whatever. Look, at the Celtics sports, most of the days are good, thankfully. So it's different for us than most teams, I guess. I guess we're a big fish in a small pond or whatever. But yeah, I think the things you can enjoy in life, like music, football, being able to walk, being able to see, being able to type, being able to make videos, being able to write, or whatever it might be. I'd love to know what things you're in life are. But yeah, fundraising for Townfold and Celtic and Asian empowerment within any international rules or laws, whether that's rules of sports, especially football, or whether it's rules internationally or whatever. So always encouraging obeying the law as much as possible, encouraging discouraging law breaking in Asia and that kind of thing. Fundraising to tackle poverty in Asia, supporting Asian businesses and things like that. So I hope to do that every year. Obviously, I didn't manage to do it as well as I'd like this month. I'm hoping to do it in June, but also next year in May. Hopefully, I'll learn my lessons from this year and in the past, and just keep doing the best I can. Number 24. On that note, moving on to point number 24, I wish to use each day, whether that's in May or any other time, as constructively as possible, especially in March and May and August, I guess. July, because I take it too literally, even though I'm not religious. I think it's like the 7th month, so I maybe have a bit more of a rest and take things a bit easier. But certainly August, my birthday month, March, and May. I suppose the problem is with August I take too much on, but anyway, focusing on May, I'd say taking each day as it comes. And I think what I should do is try and prepare for the next day in advance, but I do struggle to focus. I love to each night before I go to sleep. The problem is I can't sleep up. I end up going to sleep, but I love to think of I suppose I think of too many. I think of like 40 things I want to do. Just too many, because that's not even half an hour each. What is it? Depending on how long I sleep. But anyway, but yeah, I suppose I say if I don't do it this Monday, I can do it next Monday. If I don't do it this Tuesday, I can do it next Tuesday, respectively, or whatever. But yeah, thinking at least a day ahead. And I love to be able to write more in my diary and organise my time, my diary and organiser. I bought a diary and an organiser, and I haven't even really got around to writing them. So what's the point? But I'll do my best. Hopefully each day, if I can write a little bit each day and not put too much pressure on myself, and just write what I can each day in my diary and just try and enjoy it and my organiser. Don't know why I bought both, but I do because I'm a twit. But anyway, moving on. Number 25, I'd love to benefit republics in Asia, especially. Number 26, I'd love to talk about reparations for Asian nations that were colonised, especially like Iraq and Vietnam, which were invaded more recently. Or when I say colonised, I mean invaded, empirized, imperialized, whatever terms you want to use. Anyone who tried to invade them, like Iraq, Vietnam, or if you go back in time, like India. India is one of the countries, probably the nation I want to benefit the most financially if I could. I know Italy in terms of football, but India in terms of finances. Modi was in India, in Italy, funny enough, in India. He was in Italy more recently, but I'd love to benefit, when it comes to football, I'd love to benefit Italy. But in other areas, I'd love to benefit Asian nations, especially India, Malaysia, Indonesia perhaps, Singapore, Vietnam, Iraq, and places like that the most. But all of Asia, really, I wish to God I could benefit all of them. I know I'm not religious, but maybe they could work with African nations as well to talk about reparations, whether that's in terms of favourable trade deals, international funding with low or no interest rates, access to capital, improving their ratings so that they can get more funding, access to capital, supporting entrepreneurship across Asia, or whatever it might be in Africa and Asia, I guess, but mainly focusing on Asia for this month and as well as April and June. But moving on, but again, Africa and Asia could work together on what they have in common, and like the fact they were colonized and that kind of thing. Number 27, I think it'd be cool if Asia had awards shows and honoured and acknowledged those who support them. Again, I guess I'd love to support Malaysia because I think historically, if I'm not mistaken, they looked after the Eurasian population, the Kristangs. Same sort of thing with Singapore and India. I normally like to put it in a certain order because, like, my initials M.K. M.K. or S. Not. I think like Malaysia, in this case, like Malaysia, India, and Singapore. I don't think Indonesia looked after its Eurasian population as much, but they were colonized. So I would love to reparate them, and they are a republic, so I'd love to reward republics. So I'd love to reward Indonesia for being a republic. So I guess I could include them. Obviously, Vietnam, Iraq. It's difficult with Iran, obviously, right now, but yeah, I should be careful what I say. But maybe even funding, like access to education, teaching, training, entrepreneurship, and things like that, which could educate people against terrorism and other crimes. Hopefully not so controversial after all. So I keep getting panicky, and paranoid that I get anxiety that I unplug the laptop, unplug my laptop by mistake. Hopefully not, but yeah, I still can't believe I tried to make a video and I forgot to go, or I didn't probably click go live on YouTube. Even earlier I tried to click go live and I was like, why is it not going live? I guess I wasn't clicking it properly. Don't be sorry. But anyway, moving on, number 28, I love to turn negative situations into positives. Number 29, I also think of like mixed race may, given my use of alliterations, which I normally use, but because I'm focusing on Asia, those with mixed Asian ancestry, so Blasians, part Black and part Asians, and Eurasians like myself, like part European and part Asian. So those of mixed Asian descent, especially. I'd love to celebrate mixed Asians in modelling, music, movies, sports, like especially soccer, or whatever you want to call it. I know, sorry, not everyone likes the term soccer. I apologise for that one, but football, footy, or whatever you want to call it, calcio, as they call it in Italy, and that kind of thing. Also, neurodiversity awareness in Asia and across Asia, and what we could contribute to Asia. I saw something about Made by Dyslexia's official YouTube, and it talked about how dyslexic strengths can be used. They talk about dyslexic strength just like the dyslexic advantage, which I think they should collaborate with. If they haven't already done so, I think that's an idea. Dyslexic organisations collaborate. In other neurodiverse organisations, they could be I think it'd be quite fitting again, given my use of alliterations, for like the ADHD advantage, the autism advantage, and that kind of thing. But yeah, looking at what we could contribute to sports. For me personally, I love to contribute to Italian football. I've got my Italian t-shirt under here, and also the Celtic. I don't know why this reminds me. I don't know if it's because of this symbol or something, but this reminds me of like superheroes. I was thinking about who are my heroes. I could talk about superheroes someday, but also because it's black, I was thinking about like black superheroes comic, where they made comics of black superheroes and superstars for the black community, those who contribute to the black community and that kind of thing. But also, although I am trying to focus more on Asia, but again, what neurodivergent people can contribute to Asia, and also even people with mental health problems, as well as Eurasians and other mixed race people. And number 30, as I say, I plan to do a lot more, but I didn't quite get around to it. But anyway, I am out, and peace and love. Please let me know what you think as ever. I'm Josh, and bye.